Hi everyone, Carol Starr here to follow along in the Understanding Astrology series. Today I want to talk about doing your own chart. Should you do your own chart and should you not do your own chart? And the only problem with doing your own chart is I assume too that you're going to get a printed out computerized reading. Okay, so you're going to look at the reading and you're going to see your sun sign, moon sign, and all the planets and the houses, and each one is set separately. Okay, I don't know how synergistic these are because they don't take into consider maybe you're a Libra with the Scorpio moon or Gemini rising. So many times I've heard people say, "Oh, I read my chart and I heard that Venus is going to do this or do that, and it's going to ruin my life." And so what happens is you read it the way that it is. It's kind of like verbatim. Okay, they have everything on there. They're going to have your descriptions and they're going to be okay. I'm not saying that they're inaccurate or that they don't work. It says that it's really important if you're interested in astrology and take it seriously and you really want to learn something about yourself and about what's going on, you need an astrologer. And you don't have to choose me, but it would be nice if you would, of course, because I think that if an astrologer will look at your chart and see how everything works together, and also if you're in conversation with them and you say, "What does that mean? My God, this is terrible," they'll explain to you that it doesn't mean that much, and it's different, and it works well, and maybe if it was on another chart, it might be different. So doing your own chart has its pros and cons. It's probably one of the pros is, of course, it's cheaper, and you have kind of a rundown. And I have so many people that call themselves that, I don't call themselves astrologers, but they kind of feel like they know a lot about astrology. And I hate to say this, but you really, reading books and learning about astrology online does not make you an astrologer. What makes you an astrologer is someone that's done at least 1,000 readings. You've got to get into the reading. You have to understand what all of it means together, and you get a feeling for it. I mean, I've done it for 30 years. Well, a little more than that, maybe. And I just find that when I do a chart, I look at everything. I don't look at like sun, moon, rising, and the planets. They're all different. They're all together. Example, you have an Aries personality. They're outgoing, fun, and whatever. And then they have like a quieter moon. Maybe, let's just say, like Virgo. And Virgos tend to be not quite so expressive and noisy and do all that. And they like to be more pragmatic and organized, and Aries are not always organized. So, and then if you get a Pisces moon with that Aries sun sign, that's a lot more emotional than it's not that Aries aren't emotional, but they like to be new, they like to start, they like to go, they like to try new things. And they have a moon sign that basically not slow them down, but just kind of change their personality a little bit. And then we go to the rising sign. This is the way people see you. So here you are in Aries with the Pisces moon, and you've got an Aquarius rising. Well, that's a whole lot different. So how does that work together? Is that you're not just an Aquarius rising, you're not just a Pisces moon sign, and you're not just an Aries sun sign. And then I want to just go through, talk about Mercury's, how you think, you reason, and you talk. And here you are in Aries, because I'm using that as an example, and you have you have Mercury in Pisces. Okay, so that makes you a lot more emotional and thinking and careful. Aries sometimes get their foot in their mouth because they just talk. And if it was in Sagittarius, Mercury, we know that you really are honest and really talk a lot. And then Venus, your love nature. So what happens if it's in Capricorn? Oh, you are restricted, you hold back, you're cautious. Aries is not cautious. So how does that work together? So I think you understand where I'm going with all this, is that everything's changed, and the houses too. Each house represents a different area in your life, and it's all focused back to your sun, moon, rising, and Mercury, Venus, and Mars. So I don't want to bore you any longer with the details, but think twice about getting a reading or put it in the right perspective. So if you're interested in astrology and you want to know about your life and you want to have trends for the year, call on a real astrologer and have a real astrology chart read. You'll be so much happier with it, and you won't have any of these doubts. I have actually people telling me, "Oh, my Saturn return is here. That's why my life is over." Well, it's not like that. There's nothing on that chart that's going to tell you something terrible is going to happen without looking at the whole picture and everything else. So that's it for today. I'm Carol Starr. I always bring astrology down to earth, and keep following me on this Understanding Astrology, because you'll learn a lot about astrology, and I'll teach you about the sun and the moon and the rising sign and all the details that go along with it, because that's what you want to learn. So it's kind of like a class in a way. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys, and thank you all of you always supporting me on everything.